Welcome back. I'm Alfred Lambremont Webre, and we're with Ole Dammegard with an important update. It's very brief. Ole, please go ahead.
As you know, since we've been going through so many of these different alleged terror attacks, one of the things that the people involved in this do is that they leave clues for the upcoming event. And this has made it possible for me to predict 3 or 4 of them. The latest one, the London attack, 1 month before it happened. So we need to be very aware of this, what they're doing, and try to understand these almost like encrypted messages that they put in the footage and the evidence and so on. And I believe that I have I found clues for the next upcoming event. But it's there's a card deck called the Illuminati card deck, and there's one called that talks about exactly multiple events at the same time, how they do coordinate attacks. There's also a British company called Crisis Solutions that are very, very proud in their presentation video. They come up with this whole thing of how they can help the client with coordinated attacks, even in different nations across the Atlantic and so on, all coordinated from one center, and also assisted by Twitter campaigns, Facebook email campaigns, all of these things, news campaigns, including contact and involvement by what looks like military, police, ambulances, and so on. So it's exactly what we see here. And I think we really need to expose companies like that, because in my opinion, super dangerous, because how can we tell the difference? They're getting better and better in many ways. So what I think that I found is that on the very first video that came out was taken by a person who was in a cab, and they stopped the cab, and you can see that he gets out and films the bridge. There's only a few people lying there being taken care of, and there's absolutely no traffic, which, like, things like that makes me go like, whoa, hang on a second, because it was midday in central London. Where are the cars? And here we have like a sequence of at least 20 seconds, not a car at all. Oh, there's one car, but that's about it. And it doesn't match up either with the other footage. Turns out that the band that filmed it is a Bilderberg member, a former Polish foreign minister called Radosław Sikorski. So just that made me like, whoa, we need to look into this, because how is it possible? And I would suggest that I found the answer to that is that it was not recorded on that day. That specific sequence was not recorded that day. It was recorded, if I and other researchers are correct, on the 24th of September 2016. And it was because the bridge was shut off for 2 hours in the morning on a Saturday when there's no traffic at all. They asked for permission with high-speed driving. And also, it was the Pinewood Studios in the UK that works out from the Stanley Kubrick building. Can you believe it or not? It's the exact same studio that has been accused for making the fake moon landing hoax. All of these filming is said to have been filmed in those exact studios. So I think we need to sort of be aware of that there's a possibility that they could be involved again in some psyop mind play. So what do they show in these for 20 seconds of footage? They show, and you can hear somebody says, somebody has been hit, there's 3 injured, please send ambulance, and so on. So the official story was 45, so a massive difference. So you look at the camera, it pans like this, and in a very steady movement, there's no shaking, even though it looks like, or it's supposed to be that he's walking or running. So what happens is that it passes a sign, a very bright street sign, where it says, advance warning, Bridge Street will be closed April 8 and a time of day until the 9th of April in the evening. follow diversion, it says. Follow diversion, that sign. So since I'm born in Denmark, the 9th of April is a very important date in Danish history because that was the day when Denmark was invaded by the Nazi occupation. And it's a day that every year is being remembered, that and the 5th of May, which was the day of liberation. So I thought of that, whoa, that date I know, but I had no idea that anything about it. But then the camera continues, and the only vehicle you see more or less is a scooter, like a home delivery guy with fast food, like a box on the back. And that the logo on the box is very strong, in perfect focus in the filming and so on. And it says Just Eat. Now, Just Eat is an international chain, but started by a Danish guy. And so Denmark, and then there was 2 witnesses heard about the shooting, both of them Danish. So I thought Denmark. Then there was also there's one photo. If you go in on Google Images and you write down London Terror, one of the images that comes up is a very mediocre photo of 2 police officers. I mean, they're not really doing anything. They're just walking in through across a pavement towards a door. But right in the center, please remember, it's always in the center of these images that they leave them very subtle, but these clues. Right in the center of that image is this logo of Let's Eat, this company logo. And when you look at it, it looks like almost like it's taped there. It's not a sign for that specific shop that was closed there or that restaurant. It's just, it looks like it's taped on. I think it looks taped, and very strong colors. So I thought that's boom, 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 like 4 indication. Is it possible that that is what they're saying, that this would be the next target? I kept looking. And then what I've just found out is that there was a anti-terror drill in Denmark on the exact hour of the attacks in London. I mean, on the hour, the same date, the same hour. It was 3 o'clock Danish time, and this happened 2:40 English time. So since, in my opinion, it was a staged event, they would have started maybe around 2 o'clock. So we have that these 2 operations start exactly at the same time. And this was a big one in a city called Hillerød, where even the Danish Princess Marie was there, invited. It was a so-called CBRNE drill, and that covers chemical, biological, radiologic, and nuclear and explosive material. And the theme for the day was chemical substances and explosives. And in it was, it was a cooperated operation with everything from the secret police, the normal police. You had healthcare. You had, let me see here, there was fire brigades, ambulances, police, all of them coordinated in this drill that was exactly on the time for this one. So I'm like, whoa, hang on. It seems like there's a very possible strong indication that Denmark could very well be the next target. So the question is, what target would they choose? And what we've seen a clear pattern of with these operations is that either they aim at something that has to do with communication, like train stations, big train stations, airports, also ferries and planes. These are the things that they aim at, or schools when it comes to mass shootings, because they want the emotional thing going, and then it's easier if it's kids that is said to have been shot and so on. But also, they look for buildings that has a national identity, that are a tourist thing, so that you can get an international impact, and also with sometimes with an historical connection also that has to do with the national identity and so on. This can also be a person, like an actor or somebody that is sort of the pride of this country. So when you look at the date, which is the Nazi invasion of Denmark, I would say there is the Little Mermaid, which is the symbol for Denmark, more or less, and she is located very close to a museum called the Museum of Freedom, which shows the resistance movement's fight against the German occupation and so on. And also very close to that is the headquarters for one of the secret police units, as far as I know, very close. So that would be a possible target, or one target if there's a series of attacks. The other one would be Tivoli, or the main train station, which is very, very close to each other, and also where there's a massive big obelisk right outside. There's also a town square or city square called Rådhuspladsen, where there's a very similar clock tower as Big Ben. So very central Copenhagen, or that thing. But there's this clue as well. They say Bridge Street. On this sign, they don't say the bridge will be closed, but they say Bridge Street. So in Denmark, there are four, as far as I know, there's four different bridge streets in Copenhagen. Østerbrogade, bro means bridge. Østerbro, East Bridge Gade, Østerbro, Vesterbro, Nørrebro, or Amager Brovej, Brogade. So I don't know. I just think that since it's today's April the 3rd, and if there's an attack planned for the 8th, then or the 9th, I would think that maybe the 8th is where they prepare the whole drill, and the 9th is where they would do the hit itself, because that is the historical date. So I just think that we need to get this information out as soon as possible. I've also been given indications that people in Rotterdam, in Holland, and in Italy as well, people have suggested that these two could also be possible targets. I don't know, but I'm just saying it now so that it's on record.
Right. We have a couple of JPEGs of what you're referring to. Would you like to we can screen share those,
yeah,
and
please.
Perhaps you have some.
Let me just
some images.
Yep, go for it.
So let me see here. If it would be here. Here we go. Here is one of the.
I would also like to point out that we were talking about the Statue of Liberty last time, and people have pointed out that there is a Statue of Liberty in Leicester in England as well, that could be a possible target. So I don't know. I mean, at the moment, we're guessing here. I just think that we need to get this information out as soon as possible to be able to possibly diffuse this whole thing.
All right. So here we have connecting the dots.
I can't see.
Oh, that.
Yeah, I can see your screen, but I can't see.
It doesn't come up for you. Okay, sorry.
I can see the Skype window open.
Yeah, but you don't see the other. Okay. Let me just see. Stop share. Okay, let me just share screen and preview. Can you see that now? Or?
Yeah, perfect. Okay, so this is the image I made, and and here in the background, this is filmed most probably on the 24th of September 2016 as a preparation for this attack. And so it's very important that see what is in this very short footage. And also, had that sign been there when the attack occurred, the car would have crashed into it. It couldn't have passed the way because it's standing on the pavement. So They filmed it there, taken it away, done the operation, and then put it back on.
Right.
So here it says from 5 a.m. the 8th of April to 20 p.m. the 9th of April. An advance warning. I mean, they love these kind of plays with words and so on. So advance warning and follow diversion. So that follow diversion can be also a play with words, because maybe they're just playing with us and diverting us in the wrong direction by doing this, you know, putting clues out there to divert us. But anyway, the only thing you see here are some people walking around that do not resemble to the people that you see in the other footage on the bridge, at least not all of them. So it's that sign, and then it pans on, and then it comes to this guy on a scooter with Just Eat, and that is a Danish-owned company, a big one, or Danish. The owner that started it was Danish.
Right. Now, does that bring up a Just Eat sign for you?
Yeah, I can see the one connecting the dots. That's the one I see now.
Oh, okay. Let me just stop this and then start it again. And here's the Just Eat, and start. Does that bring it up?
I see the Skype again.
Oh, hold on a second. This is a little share screen, and then I do like this, and then I share screen. Does that bring it up?
Now I see the drill.
Do you see
sorry,
a Just Eat sign?
Sorry, 2 seconds. Yeah, here it is. Here is this photo I find odd. That is why I reacted. It was sent to me as well. And here is a photo of two police officers. Why are this photo even taken? I mean, it is, as far as I know, not anywhere near the bridge or anything that has happened there. I will have to see if I can track down the signs of the shops so I can find out exactly where it is. And then right in the center, you always have to look right in the center, but often in the background is Just Eat. And it looks like it's taped there. It doesn't look like it's part of a shop window or...
Yeah.
And also in the exact middle of it, we have another photographer with a tripod taking photos of the photographer. So
yeah,
that is why I reacted. Yeah. And this is when you Google, if you make a Google search, London Terror, this will come up. So, and this is how they've done many times before. They leave the clues hidden in plain sight.
Right. Okay, good. Okay, so I know that this is just a brief update, and as more information comes in, do you want to finally just summarize again briefly what the kind of the summary of your update?
Okay, I believe that I found clues that shows that their next attack, we're talking about the powers behind the New World Order, their next attack in part of creating absolute chaos here so that we will welcome a global state military surveillance state with a world army. The next step in this will be this attack on Copenhagen, Denmark, on the 8th or 9th of April. I would suggest the 9th of April. Since they had a drill at the exact same time in Denmark as in England on the hour, I would say this is a coordinated effort, just like we've seen before with the different NATO countries. And where Denmark has before, just like after Charlie Hebdo, it was planned that there was an attack. The Copenhagen shootings was, I believe, supposed to take place right after Charlie Hebdo. I went out openly and said exposed it just like this. And nothing happened when that drill took place. Instead, exactly 1 month later on the hour, it took place on the exact spot that I pointed out. So my suggestion would be that it would be on the 9th of April, and that the target would be some very important symbolic location for Denmark and for the freedom fight of Denmark.
Which is what?
I would say it's the Little Mermaid that is very close to the Museum of Freedom in Copenhagen. It's very central. It's also very close to the English church in Copenhagen, and where part of Danish police, I think it's the part of the secret police in Denmark, are having their offices more or less right across the street. So it would be, this is a very famous, I mean, the Little Mermaid is the symbol for Denmark. It's on every single postcard. So that would be a place that really could make an impact should there be like a mass shooting. Or when you look at what the theme of the drill in Denmark was, it was explosives and chemicals. So maybe it will be like a chemical that they say that ISIS has dropped a chemical bomb or something like that, and you will see people lying around the museum being gassed to death or something like that, something.
Right.
Or it would hit central Copenhagen around the train station, Tivoli, or Rådhuspladsen.
Right.
Maybe something in one of the 4 streets that has Bridge Street in their names. Østerbrogade, Nørrebrogade, Vesterbrogade, eller Amagerbrogade. One of these streets. But these streets are they are main streets in Copenhagen. So I just want to make it clear that this was recorded on April 3rd.
Right.
That been indications also made that Rotterdam and Holland is a possible target. That could very well be, because we're looking at the more and more coordinated hits that are from NATO and the whole strategy of tension. That agenda is being played out now. So they're ramping up the game. We see also today, now there was an attack in St. Petersburg in former Russia, and where it seems like, I don't understand the bigger picture. I don't understand, but since the alleged assassination of the Russian ambassador, we've seen more and more involvement of things that have been pointing towards former Eastern Bloc countries like Poland and Czechia, the Czech Republic, and so on. Also, in Germany, they have they've gone out, and Crisis Actors Company have been trying to recruit people to do for NATO exercises, where the American army is part of it, and where they're looking for people that speak Czech, Polish, German, and so on. So why would they do that? Also, they're looking for people that speak Pakistani, Urdu, Afghani, Farsi, and so on. So I believe that what they're trying to do now is, since so many people are waking up, that they need to get us into sort of a closed area, a prison, and so that they can lock the door behind us before it's too late for them. So this is why I believe that these NATO exercises are there to film the things that looks real, so that we will look like a Russian invasion that can be blamed on Russia, with Polish, Czech people running around maybe as victims and so on. But it's in these exercises, it will be filmed, and then it will be used as real footage for news things. Oh my God, now there's this happening, now there's that. Absolutely not.
Right. And as you pointed out, on the March 22nd event, there were a number of buses on the bridge, one of which had a picture of the Statue of Liberty, one of which is in New York Harbor. We received just today an article from someone in the UK that there's also a Statue of Liberty in the city of Leicester,
yeah.
UK. Yeah. So,
but I agree, and Simon Parks have mentioned that.
Yeah.
But for me, it's like when you look at the way these forces think,
Yeah.
they hit big. And this is a shoe factory in
Yeah.
Leicester.
Oh, I see. A shoe
So it's
factory.
like,
Yeah.
I see that there is a statue there, but what
Yeah.
impact would that have? That they
Yeah.
blew up a shoe factory? It
Yeah.
wouldn't have the same impact at all as if they hit the Statue of Liberty, the real thing.
Exactly. Exactly. Well, we will get this out immediately. And how can people reach you and follow your work more deeply?
It's my website is lightonconspiracies.com. I also have a newsletter newsletter donation buttons, membership. This is my way of having an income. But in this newsletter, I predicted the last one, the London bombing, like 3 weeks before it happened.
Right.
And so I try to all the time be frontline with the information about what's going on and so on in my newsletters and so.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much, Ole, for alerting us to these signs, and we will get this right out so that people will be on alert, and hopefully we'll be able to stall out these possibilities and their attempts at false flagging a war or something.
Just to make a point, should it happen, then let it be understood that this is not the work of ISIS or some crazy terrorist lone nut that is throwing a bomb or chemical, anything. It is state-sponsored terrorism. It is inside jobs, and the governments in these different countries are totally in on it. So is the police, key people, and so on. So when it happens in Denmark, the Danish government will be totally in on it. The authorities, the police, the military, key people and key positions will be totally in on it. And you will also see that they will serve you their solution that has been pre-packed and prepared long beforehand, will be presented, after they've done the normal, we have to stand united in the face of terror. Then there will be an anti-terror budget, like 40 billion, blah, 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 or something like that, that the taxpayers have to pay for their protection. Absolutely not. The ones we need to be protected against are these people that serve us the solution. They are the ones.
Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
So we have been with Ole Dammegard, bringing us from Spain an alert and a warning. Thank you very much.
Thank you.